Yo, good morning, good afternoon to all my patrons. I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to continue in our lessons as we move on with the Kabbalion. All right. Now, today is very vital, very important. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't listened to the videos on the law of gender, if you haven't listened to the law of mentalism, all four parts, and got that deep inside you, if you haven't listened to the law of correspondence, then you will get information from this next part, which is the law of vibration. Law of vibration is very important. But if you don't have a deep understanding of the others, of gender, of mentalism, and of correspondence, you are only going to get the surface of what I'm talking about. It may seem that you're getting it, but you really need to have a deep understanding of the previous lessons. Mentalism, all four parts, correspondence, and gender, to really utilize the law of vibration to its full potential, and then be able to move on in understanding the other laws. Because the other laws that follow this one, the law of polarity, the law of rhythm, they are lesser laws to the law of vibration. Okay? In order for you to affect the matter around you and your state of consciousness, or be able to affect those around you, you got to understand this law of vibration, and it goes deeper than what you hear on the airways. On the airways, people are saying, I got to change my frequency, I'm changing my frequency, I'm vibrating higher, I'm going to vibrate higher, but they truly don't understand this concept of mental vibration and physical vibration and spiritual vibration. Because if you go back to the law of correspondence, you know there is the great physical plane, the great mental plane, and the great spiritual plane. And then there are subdivisions of planes throughout. So if you don't have that understanding of those subdivision of planes and what they mean and how they respond and react to one another, the law of vibration is not going to come to you in full. If you don't understand how mental creation happens and begins, and where we are on the polarity scale of that mental creation of the infinite mind and the finite mind, you may not necessarily get it. You have to know the all in all. You have to understand mental transmutation in order for you to truly be able to vibrate. Think about it. Mental transmutation is being able to transmute your mental thoughts from one type of thought to another, the alchemy of thought. Now, when you have the alchemy of thought, you can have the alchemy of the matter plane, this physical plane that we live on, where when we understand through correspondence, we have the animal mind, the plant mind, the mineral mind, the human mind. We have to be able to mentally transmute things along the different planes and up the polarity scale, shading into the higher of one to the lower of the next. We shade, we move, we transmute mentally through vibration, But so that's why I want you to know those other ones before you get too deep into vibration, before you start running out thinking, I'm changing my vibration, I'm changing my vibration. No, let's first get the understanding. All right, but if you've done that, if you listened to those videos and you got it deep, it's in there. Let's move on. So the law of vibration, the axiom is nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This principle of vibration embodies the truth that motion is manifested in everything in the universe, and that nothing is at rest, that everything moves and vibrates in circles. Now, you probably never heard that last part, that it vibrates in circles. Later in the book, it talks about how the earth circles its axis, and then it circles the sun, and the sun circles the galaxy, and the galaxy circles some access point in the universe, and the universe circles, that everything circles, everything is moving in a circle, and everything is vibrating as it moves. Within your body, everything vibrates in a circle and everything moves. So all things vibrate and all things move in a circle. Remember, in another video I said time is a circle, ever flowing. Sometimes when you have deja vu or premonition, you're reaching into the future point or past point of the circle, but it's all the same. The Hermetic teachings are that not only is everything in constant movement and vibration, but that the difference between the various manifestations of the universe, of the universal power, are due entirely to the varying rate and mode of vibration. Not only this, but it is even that the all itself the living infinite mind, manifests a constant vibration of such infinite degree and intensity and rapid motion that it may be practically considered at rest. Now I know that one may be a little bit difficult for people to understand, of how can it be it's vibrating at such an intensity that it's at rest. Well, we're going to get to that a little bit later, but before we go there, understand, I said everything vibrates and everything moves, vibrates and moves in a circle. But then everything manifests itself in the physical plane, mental plane, everything manifests itself in the spiritual plane based on the varying rates of vibration and the mode of vibration. Basically, how you vibrate. I did a video the other day based on the all in all, based on woo of understanding how the art of non-doing. And in that art of non-doing, some things vibrate so intense that they appear to be not doing, but yet the work is being done, right? In meditation, we vibrate at a level of doing, but it appears we're not doing. To give you a physical aspect of that, the wheel is spinning. As the propeller or the wheel spins slowly, you can see the spokes of the propeller. But as it speeds up and speeds up and speeds up, it gets to a point that if it gets fast enough, you no longer see it, right? It becomes invisible. It appears to be at rest, but yet we know it is moving far faster than what it was previously moving. It's vibrating faster, which enables propulsion and flight and movement. Mentally, we can vibrate faster where it appears at rest, but yet movement is occurring. We think, we conceptualize, we see it. We see the end result. We see it's like working backwards. I see what I want. I see it in its perfection of what I desire. And when I see it in its perfection, I haven't moved yet. I haven't vibrated yet. I haven't done any physical activity to move me there yet. But I first have to get to that perfect point of vibration in my mind that I see it exactly how it is, exactly how I desire for it to be, but yet I haven't moved physically, but my mental vibration has already moved. And so now the universe, the ether hears it. So the ether plane, the ethereal plane now connects me to the spiritual plane. From the matter plane to the energy plane, I'm now connected, even though we know matter is still energy, but the differentiate between our finite mind, we are now connecting from the matter plane to the energy plane, or the plane of human mind to the plane of spirit mind, or the plane of the great mental plane to the great spiritual plane. We're now connecting through the ethereal source to get there, so that we see it, so that it's being helped, it's being created through the universe. And now once we do that, the right physical moments happen. You feel the right moments. You go in way, how the man floated up and down with the water. You flow with it, not against the current. You flow with it. How do you know when to move? You move when you know the vibration is right. When the vibration is and the universe is moving with you, that's when you move, right? That's when you physically move on the physical plane, but the mental plane is already there. So we have to think about the rate and the mode of vibration. We're going to get a little deeper into that as well. All right. Sweet elixir of life this morning. And so the mind is also of that mode. But everything is of the same thing. And we'll get deeper into that on polarities when we get into the law of polarity, just being varying degrees along the same scale, right? There is hot and cold, but all of it is temperature, and we just vibrate. The faster we vibrate, the more heat. The closer we are to heat, but where does heat begin and cold ends? We don't know. It's in a finite mind, and even in the infinite mind, it's selective. It's relative. Okay. All right. So now this is an important part that I really want you guys to get. My contacts are messing up on me, so reading is a little bit difficult. Science does not yet attempt to explain the nature of the phenomenon known as cohesion, which is the principle of molecular attraction, nor chemical affinity, which is the principle of atomic attraction, nor gravity, the greatest mystery of the three, which is the principle of attraction by which every particle or mass of matter is bound to every other particle or mass. We talk about this law of attraction, but the science behind it is that whether things are, is really known as cohesion, whether things are molecular, whether things are chemical, or whether things are physical matter, all things are connected to another thing. Nothing is disconnected. It's like opening your crown chakra and realize your crown chakra. Well, no, crown chakra is realizing that everything, that releasing your earthly attachment. Opening your third eye and realizing that all things are connected, that we are all unified, that no one is separate. Remember, in the law of mentalism, no one is motherless or fatherless when it comes to the Hermetic teachings, but we are all connected to divine source through and that's the law of gender, actually, that we are all connected. Right? That we all have that energy. What we're saying here is that when you think about the law of attraction, think about it in the sense of this. Everything in life, since there is no such thing as real time, everything has already been done, is being done. We exist in the finite brain in this time today. But all things are connected. Nothing is separate. If we want to manifest something, we simply have to use the forces of gravity to attract those things of likeness. Remember when we talked about the elemental mind? The elemental mind would suggest that even the elements have their likes and dislikes, their attractions and their repulsions, that they have their love and their hates. So when we think of the elemental mind, even the elements, the atomic nature of things, have where the things they like to become cohesive with and things they do not. So when we want to think, this is why if you have doubt, it destroys the entire thought process of what you want manifested, because you doubt it. And the doubt is a repulsion of what you want. So then the universe does not assist you in creating what you want. And then you go out and try to force vibrational action towards the thing you want, but the action you're taking, the mode of vibration is off. It's not the mode that's going to attract what you desire. So we have to be conscious of how all things are connected. Every word you speak is connected to an emotion, is connected to a thought. So the vibration of the frequency of your speech, the tone of your speech, the words that you choose, how you put those words together, the flow of the word, the harmony of the words, all of that coalesce together. It has a cohesion that gravitates towards certain ideas, certain activities, certain impulses, certain emotions. So we have to understand how all these things are connected in order for us to manifest what we truly desire. And I know someone wrote in one of the comments of another video that this is a lot. In my 7 Hermetic, I did a short video on all the 7 Hermetic laws. It's very surfacey, but they said this is a lot. I know this is a lot. And this is a lot to conceptualize. This is why the masters and the adepts, they take the time. And please, please take the time. But all things are connected. The universal ether, which is postulated by science without its nature being understood clearly, is held by the Hermeticists to be the higher manifestation of that which is erroneously called matter, the ethereal substance. This is what connects us. So when you understand the connection of the elemental mind, right, the animal mind, the plant mind, the human mind, when you understand all the connections and cohesiveness and how the matter plane of A, B, C, and how the ethereal plane connects that to the energy plane, which is just to say the thought plane connected to the spiritual plane. When we understand those modes and understand how that these things are connected, we then can think and then act in such a way that we vibrate to create and manifest what it is we truly desire to have in our lives. All right? So we have to understand that the higher we vibrate, the higher up the scale we go. Whether we're looking at sound, the higher the vibration of the frequency, the sound, then it starts with a low growl and it gets higher until you can't hear it. The same thing happens with color. It starts at the red, a dark red, and it goes all the way up to your blues and indigos and violets until it becomes the ultraviolet, to the X-rays that you cannot see. The same thing with anything. The higher the vibration, the more at rest it becomes, and it changes. It becomes something different, right? The Hermeticists teach that the vibrations are continuously increasing. The object would vibration be continually increased. The object would mount up the successive states of manifestation and would in turn manifest the various mental stages and then on spirit ward until it would finally re-enter the all, which is absolute spirit. The object, however, would have ceased being an object long before the stage of ethereal substance was reached. Meaning that if your vibration, you increase your mental vibration, that your mindset, your thoughts would leave the human mind, it would leave the plane of the mental mind and go onward, spiritward, towards the spiritual plane, towards the energy plane, but it would cease being the mental mind, the human mind. It will cease being on the mental plane long before it reaches the ethereal and go on spiritward. That you will elevate. This is the opening of that crown chakra, that releasing of all earthly attachments. But you would elevate beyond the state of this matter plane before you move forward. And you will gladly enter in unity with the all, because your understanding would be far greater than what you look at today. You wouldn't hold on to such things that you hold on to today. Those things would have they wouldn't matter to you. Family ties wouldn't matter, you know. There's a teaching in Christianity where Yeshua character is saying that, you know, that you have to leave your mother and father. In one sense, I understand how detractors will utilize that, but the Hermeticists will look at that and say it is the idea, it is the allegory of not holding on to earthly attachments of familiar relationships simply based on blood and birth, but being able to recognize who your true family is, like who truly has your best interest. When you're vibrating to accomplish something, they say don't tell everybody your business. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, because there are people who you call family that will be against you because their mental vibration is beneath yours, is lower than yours. Not that they are beneath you. Everybody is of equal quality. But their mental vibration is vibrating lower than yours, so they can't see themselves past their own ego or their own misery in order to be an assistant, in order to come into cohesion with you to vibrate on the higher plane. So you may have to leave your mother and father and cling on to the others who become your mother and father and your brother and sister who are of equal vibration, okay, or higher vibration. But they're of higher vibration, recognizing that your vibration is continuously increasing and that their vibrational pattern is at a state where it is not diluted by yours. So we be cognitive of that. That's an allegory. See, there are many allegories, many lessons to be pulled. Now, this is like the second most important part to go along with the object no longer it ceases being an object. But simply that it reaches a degree of vibration in which those forms of energy are liberated in a degree from the confining influences of its molecules, atoms, and corpuscles, as the case may be. Don't just get stuck with atoms, molecules, and corpuscles. These forms of energy, although much higher in the scale than matter, are imprisoned and confined, sound like a pastor, right? Imprisoned and confined in the material combination by reason of the energies manifesting through and using material forms, but thus becoming entangled and confined in their creation of material form, which to an extent is true of all creations, the creating force becoming involved in its creation. Basically, what we're saying is that these forms of energy, not that part, that you are currently confined. All things that you need, all things that make you that get you into the spiritual plane is already present. But as you vibrate, it will be like they jailbreak, right? They will get broken from jail. They're being confined right now. How we say that the divine energy, the spark, is inside you. It is. The next level of mental creation is inside you. It is. You being a millionaire is already inside you. It is. You being a healthy person is already inside you. It is. You being a loving person is already inside you. It is. But until you vibrate at the right frequency, at the right speed, in the right mode, you will remain, those attributes, those aspects of your being will remain confined until you vibrate at the right speed, in the right mode, until you come to an understanding of the law of vibration and mental transmutation. When you can understand that, you can change the vibration and free the real you. I always say free yourself to be yourself, right? You got to free yourself. But the Hermetic teaching goes much further than do those of modern science. They teach that all manifestations and thought, emotions, reason, will or desire, or any mental state or condition are accompanied by vibration. All right, this is that your thoughts have vibration. Science is understanding now that telepathy is your thoughts going out. That people getting your alpha waves are just thoughts going out. These are your mental creation, and they have vibratory principles, and they move. They're not matter, but they exist on the matter plane. It's kind of like in the all in all. The universe is an illusion, and it's not. Because in our reality, we accept that vibration, thoughts have matter, even though we know matter is energy. But science is catching up. But every thought or emotion or mental state has its corresponding rate and mode of vibration, and by an effort of will of the person or the other person, these mental states may be reproduced just as musical tones may be reproduced by causing the instrument to vibrate at a certain state. One may polarize his mind at any degree he wishes, thus gaining the perfect control over his mental state, moods, etc. Right? This power, of course, may be acquired only by a person only by the proper instruction, exercise, practice, etc. The science being that of mental transmutation, one of the branches of the Hermetic arts. All right. Let me finish this part up, and then I'll come back. So set aside the laws of nature. There are those who are able to set aside the laws of nature who will and in reality are simply using one law against the other, one principle against the other, and who accomplishes their results by changing the vibration of the material object or form of energy, and thus performing what we commonly call miracles. He who understands the principle of vibration has grasped the scepter of power. That whole part, what I want you to understand is that your mental state and anybody else's mental state can be determined by the will. When I did the video in mental transmutation about the I and the me, as in law of gender as well, the I and the me. The I represent their being, the me is what you are becoming, but it is through mental transmutation, the will, the I is the will, the instructions to push the me into becoming something. The question is, whose I? Is it the eye of the commercial? Is it the eye of the motivational speaker? Is it the eye of the parent? Is it the eye of the pastor? It is the eye of American theology or thought process. Is it the eye of a gender-based society? What is the I that is forming your me? And through that I has a vibration. It comes out sometimes in the form of music. See, it's not just one way. You go, just think of church. Any church, any religion. You think of, they go in, if they want you to, when they want you to pay them tithes, the music comes on. Why? Why is the music playing when they want you to pay tithes? The pastor gets into a certain mode of speaking. Start talking about how when you sow a seed, God's going to bless you 3-4 times over, pressed down and shaken, running over, that your cup will overflow. That when they want you to join them, the politician gets up there and they change their manner of speaking. They don't speak to you as they would if they were sitting at a dinner table. No, they know what hand gestures to use. They know when to do certain things. They know when they want to drive a point home and when they want you to lean back into them and see their humility. They know this body language, this way of speaking. I do it. And I do it naturally, but I also do it based on training as well. We have to train these things. We have to get better at these things. Yes, do I see myself one day standing on a stage? I've seen the perfect vision of standing on a stage, 10,000 people. The love of my heart goes out and introduces me. And then I walk out onto that stage to the cry and the roar of a crowd of 10,000 people and motivate them and inspire them to make huge changes in their life. But I know that when I stood there, that it was crafted. My speech patterns are crafted. My tonality is crafted because why? The vibration that's coming out of my mouth must be so that it creates the cohesion of people's emotional desire to move forward and make changes in their life. This is not something that is to be looked upon negatively. Many people have used these tools to hurt and hinder people, to convince the Aryan race that they are supreme and they should kill all the Jews. But at the same time, that technique has been used to convince American people to allow civil rights, or for the people in India to follow Gandhi. It has been used for negative and for positive based on who won has determined the negative and the positive. And yes, certain things are just blatant negative. Massacring people is always going to be a negative. Jim Jones will always be a negative. So, but those who are the higher levels can set this aside, and they can walk on water. They can raise the dead. They can kill the bull. They can do certain things. They can do certain things that we can't fathom yet because we haven't fully grasped the fact that all things is made out of energy and all energy vibrates, and all vibration of energy and the law of cohesion, they can change the matter, change the vibration to change the cohesion so that we know we can create different connections. And that's all we're really doing. Vibration is to create, we vibrate to create a different connection, and from our mental state create a different connection that changes the physical state, the state of matter, to a different connection, so that we attract what it is we want, whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's houses, whether it's higher understanding, whether it's friends. No matter what it is, we change the vibration, we change the energy so that it becomes what we need it to be in order to attract the gravitational pull towards us, because we all have a center of gravity to pull it towards us to make life, things, the matter plane, the energy plane, the mind plane, the plane of physical, the great physical plane, the great mental plane, the great spiritual plane, what we desire for it to be in our lives. So we can do this through our speech. This is why they say life and death is on the tongue. It's not the actual tongue, but because of the vibration of the words and the frequency. But understanding this law of vibration is what will set you apart. It's what will get you to the point where you can really change your mental state and participate in the mental transmutation of thoughts. And then once your thoughts have been mentally transmuted, then you will act in accordance. You will physically vibrate in accordance to it, so that the vibration has a stronger will over the laws of cause and effect, polarity, and rhythm. So y'all have a great day. Enjoy this. Share this with any other patrons. I look for your comments. Y'all have a great day. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.